Hey guys, I'm Crystal and this is Yoga for Self-Love. If you're new, welcome. Yoga is a journey. So if after about 20-25 minutes, you feel like you got enough out of your practice, feel free to skip ahead to the meditation and we'll see you next time. Next time you come back, add a couple minutes, and every time you come back, keep adding a couple of minutes, and eventually you'll make it through the entire practice. Also, if at any time something doesn't feel right today, feel free to drop in a child's pose, grab water, take whatever you need, and then just rejoin when it feels right for your body and your breath. So today we are going to start in our corpse pose. So when it feels good for you, come on down onto your back, and we're just going to have our chest facing the ceiling, allowing our back to melt into the floor, extending our legs long, and then softly closing our eyelids and just bringing all of our attention and awareness into our breath. Feeling our in-breath as it enters through our nose, and then connecting to each out-breath as it leaves through our mouth. Breathing in lots of love for ourselves. And as we breathe out, just completely letting go of any self-doubt or criticism you might be holding on to. So today we're going to really refocus on just bringing a lot of love into our bodies, accepting ourselves for everything that we are, and also for everything that we are not. So often, we are so busy taking care of everybody else that we forget to set time aside for us. So today, we are putting all of our attention on refilling our cups and just continuing to breathe in lots of love and breathe out lots of love. And as we take our next in-breath, just feeling a nice soft constriction in our throat. And then as we breathe out, making that out-breath loud and audible. Almost like the sound of the ocean. And we're just finding our ujjayi breath nice and early today. Continuing to breathe in lots of love. And breathing out judgment. Breathing out negativity. And if it feels good, we can take our right hand and just bring it towards our heart and our left hand to our lower abs. Just filling through that in-breath, feeling our stomach completely lift. And then as we breathe out, our stomach hollows and our back just kind of melts down towards the earth. And we're just going to take a couple more breaths here, observing our in-breath and letting go on our out-breath. And let's start to wake up our body. So as we take our next in-breath, we're just going to bring our arms overhead for a big good morning stretch. So reaching out of the fingertips and then also pushing out of our toes, creating some really nice length and warmth through our entire body here. And then hugging our knees into our chest and just loving ourselves. So just feeling this beautiful hug. And we can stay still, or we can start to make some nice small circles with our knees. So just giving our spine a really nice massage. And then switching directions and repeating. Just very kind, very loving in this moment. Letting go of any expectations and giving our minds and bodies the gift of being completely present as we move through our practice today. And then just meeting me back at the center, feeling that love enter through your nose and leave through your mouth. And we're going to gently start to rock up. And this might take you a couple of rocks, but we're going to make our way towards the front of the mat. Just having grace, having patience with our body. And then once you sit all the way up, we're going to find our way to tabletop. Taking our time and just bringing our wrists under our shoulders and our knees under our hips. And this should feel really good. So we're just going to find this beautiful alignment and then spread our fingers really wide so it opens our heart. And on our next in-breath, just taking our eyes up to the sky, and at the same time, we're just going to push the tailbone back. So taking another breath in here and lifting our heart higher. And now as we breathe out, we're going to find our cat. So rolling through our spine, bringing our eyes to our belly button. So our in-breath is going to bring us to cow, expanding through our ribs and lengthening our spine. And our out-breath is going to bring us back to our cat, pushing into our palms and feeling that beautiful flexion through our back. And we're just going to move through these two poses at whatever speed feels right for your breath. Just feeling this nice length and extension on each inhale and using each exhale to completely release and hollow. And we're just going to take a couple more breaths right here. Breathing in lots of love and breathing out lots of love. And when it feels good, we're going to find our way back to tabletop. Just reconnecting our palms to the earth. And we're going to find dancing lion. So bringing some warmth and love into our hips. We're just going to take the hips and make a nice circle. Collapsing down through our forearms and our shoulders. And just seeing how much space can we create here. And it might not be a lot, and that's okay. We all look different because we are all different. Just completely releasing, letting go of any expectations and not worrying about what we look like, but more what we feel like. Can we make that circle a little bigger? Can we let go a little more? And then we're going to meet at the center, and we're going to do it in the opposite direction. Just feeling this beautiful warmth, this love we have for ourselves, setting this time aside to just work on us today. One more breath. And then let's find our tabletop. And now let's get some nice warmth and strength into our shoulders, into our quads. We're going to gently tuck the toes and we're going to lift the knees away from the earth here. Continuing to push out of all 10 toes. Shifting our weight forward, squeezing our belly really, really tight, and just feeling this beautiful warmth. And if we need less, we can lift the hips higher in the legs, or we can stay low in the knees and continue to keep a little bit more pressure and warmth into the quads. And that's just going to make us really strong. And we're going to take 2 more breaths here. Can you shift just a little further forward? One more breath, one more breath, one more breath. And let's come on down. And we're going to bring our toes together. And we're going to bring our knees wide, finding our way into our child's pose. And you can just surrender down through every ounce of your body, allowing each in-breath to fill through our lungs and using that out-breath to collapse deeper into our child's pose. And rediscovering our Ujjayi breath here. So making that out-breath heavy, oceanic, and just feel that full release. And our next in-breath, we're going to lift the chest just enough to take our left hand and just slide it under the right And then collapse our left ear to the earth. And just surrendering down into our thread the needle. And you can keep this super chill, or we can make this a little more active by breathing in to fill and breathing out to reach further forward through these bottom fingertips and collapse a little deeper through this bottom shoulder. One more breath here. And we're gently gonna release, and we're just gonna switch sides, dropping all the way back in and surrendering back down. And it's just about tuning into what your body wants, what your body needs, and giving your body lots of love with each in-breath and each out-breath. One more breath here. And let's find our way back to the center. And when it feels right for you guys, we're just gonna tuck our toes and we're gonna find our way to our downward facing dog. So bringing our fingers really wide and then just bringing our hands and our feet about shoulders distance apart here. We're gonna lift the sit bones to the ceiling as we press our heels down towards our mat. And this might be enough, or if it feels good, we can pedal our feet out, just bringing one heel closer to the earth as we bend the opposite knee, but continuing to pull our armpits down towards our mat. And just feeling that beautiful warmth and that love radiate through our entire body. And allowing the palms to press a little bit deeper into the mat if it feels good. And you can feel that strength, right? 2 more breaths. Just really loving and kind as we take our steps, or just continuing to focus on pushing the heels closer to the floor. Beautiful, guys. And let's start to make our way to the front of the mat. But today we're actually going to come across the body. So we're going to take the right foot and we're going to step across the left, pushing into the inside and outside edge of the foot for stability. And then we're going to take the left foot and cross it over the right. And we're just going to have grace and patience with ourselves. So slow, steady steps. And then we're going to meet in our Uttanasana or our forward fold. Just bringing the feet under the hips and allowing our chest and shoulders to melt down onto our thighs. So in a perfect world, the legs would be straight and our chest would physically touch our legs. But we do not live in a perfect world. So if you need to keep a soft bend, that's okay. If you can't get your chest to physically touch, that's okay. But we're lifting our sit bones as we surrender down through our chest, our shoulders, and our arms. And then when it feels good, we're just going to roll up, vertebrae by vertebrae, finding mountain or Tadasana. And let's just really ground into our feet here. So taking our feet and pressing into the earth, letting go and relaxing down through our shoulders and just opening through our heart. Experiencing some movement through our body and now exploring. Maybe we can remove some of this movement that's unnecessary. So maybe we don't need to move our hair. We don't need to fix our clothes. We can just stay and have very strong intentions as we move through the rest of our practice. So taking our next in-breath, we're gonna bring our arms out, almost like we're holding a beach ball between the palms. And from here, we're gonna lift that beach ball high, lifting our eyes to the sky and driving our hips forward for extended mountain. And each in-breath is gonna lift the heart a little higher as we lean away, and each out-breath is gonna press the feet deeper into the earth, just grounding down, feeling strong and stable. And then from here, we're gonna add a beautiful side bend. So coming across the body and just reaching out further through our fingertips. And if we want a little more, we can use that in-breath to revolve our top shoulder and our out-breath to reach further through each fingertip. So feeling the in-breath open and create more space, and the out-breath lengthen and warm our spine. And let's come all the way back to the center and release and just open and lengthen one big breath here. And then let's come to the other side. So pressing deeper into the feet, reaching further through our fingers, and once again breathing in to open through our ribs, through our heart, and breathing out to reach. One more breath, and we're starting to feel really warm and good. And we're gonna come back to the center. And one more big stretch in the middle, and then let's dive every ounce of the body forward into our forward fold, or back to Uttanasana. So taking a couple of breaths here. We can hang out in our fold, or we can come to ragdoll or hangout pose by breathing our palms to the opposite elbow. And we can just stay still or start to swing from side to side, just releasing our lower back and surrendering to our breath, to our body, feeling the love we have for ourselves. And it's almost like we're hugging ourselves here. Beautiful, guys. And we're going to release the fingertips to the floor on our next out breath. And then taking our right leg, we're going to take a big step back and allow the right knee to soften down to the earth, flattening the top of the right foot and finding this beautiful ankle-knee alignment with our left leg. So we're going to start with low lunge for our first flow sequence. Breathing in and filling and lifting through our chest. And as we breathe out, this back hip, we're going to press it down closer to the earth. So we're warming and opening our hip joint. Each in-breath fills and lifts, and each out-breath takes us further. And I want 2 more beautiful breaths, just exploring what feels right, because you might not look anything like me, and that is perfectly fine. Beautiful, guys. Our next breath, we're going to add on, if it's right, or stay here. But if you can bring the beach ball, palms face each other, and we're going to lift all the way up into our crescent lunge, and we're going to use that out breath to push deeper into this front foot. So the in-breath opens our heart and extends through our spine, and our out-breath once again warms through our hip joint at a higher level. 2 more beautiful breaths. And as we take our next exhale, we are going to sink our hips back, and we are going to paint our hands forward, pushing out of both palms, bringing our fingertips to the ground, and finding our spidey fingers. So we want to keep length and strength in our spine here. So we're going to breathe in, pulling the crown of the head forward, and we're going to breathe out and sink our hips back. Still trying to maintain some really nice length and stability. And let's take 2 more breaths here. And just feel this delicious warmth radiate through the back of our leg. 1 more breath. And let's shift forward back into our crescent lunge or our low lunge. So from here, guys, we're just going to take a breath to settle and fill. And then we're going to tuck the back toes, lifting the back knee, and plant both palms. Our front foot steps back, and we find plank, and this is our first chaturanga. So you can stay up here on your toes or on your knees, but we're going to shift the weight forward, and then lowering to 90 degrees in the arms, and we're going to push through. You can hang out here in baby cobra. You can come to full cobra, lifting the eyes and chest, or thighs off the ground to up dog. But no matter what, meeting me in downward facing dog. And you can walk it out or not. And if you need a break, reset in a child's pose. And if you need water, grab it. Whatever you need to reset the body, Reset your breath. And if it feels good, we can start to lift the sit bones higher and pull the armpits closer to the floor. Just breathing in lots of love, breathing out lots of love. Beautiful, guys. And we're going to settle back into our heels, pushing the ground away through both palms. And then when it feels right, we're going to come back to the front of the mat, but we're going to walk slowly, kindly, and lovingly, bringing the left foot across the right, pressing into the blades of the foot, and then bringing the right foot across the left. Feeling the mat under our feet, feeling that deep connection to the earth, and meeting me back at Uttanasana or your forward fold. And you can hang in your fold, you can come in a hangout pose, or we can take this pose a little deeper by sliding the hands under our feet and collapsing down into gorilla. Continuing to breathe in to lift our sit bones and breathe out to melt our chest closer to our thighs. 2 more beautiful breaths. And no matter what option you chose, just meet me back in the forward fold, finding support through our fingertips and softness through our upper body. And then from here, guys, we're going to take a deep breath in and we're going to bring the beach ball with us, lifting to extended mountain, just resetting our spine, opening our heart. And then we're going to swan dive forward into our fold. And let's find this flow on our other side. So our left leg is going to step us back into lunge. And the left knee softens to the earth. And the right ankle is directly over or under our right knee. From here, opening our heart. So what we want to think about here is the collarbone spreads really wide so that we can breathe in more love. And the out breath takes us deeper into the back hip, bringing more love into our hip joint. So breathing in the love and breathing out the love. Yes. 2 more beautiful breaths. Filling and emptying. And if it feels right, we're going to use that next in-breath to bring the beach ball and come into our crescent lunge. So opening and lifting. And now let's feel this beautiful back bend. So we're driving our hips forward as we reach back, and we're sinking a little lower. Every breath takes us further because we find power, we find love through our breath work. One more time. And now we are going to sink those hips back, finding our half monkey or our half split pose. Spidey fingers, pull the crown of your head forward and soften down, yes. So can you feel the hips sink further back? And what we want to look out for is we tend to shift to one side. By keeping the weight evenly distributed, we can get more out of this beautiful pose, more out of each breath, and more love into our body. Beautiful. On our next breath, we're going to shift our weight back forward, and we're going to find our low lunge once again, stacking our ankle under our knee and opening our eyes and our heart to the sky. And when it feels right, we're going to tuck the back toes, lifting the knee from the ground, and we're going to step back to our plank, and we're going to find our chaturanga. So lowering to 90 degrees, finding the option that feels right, and then meeting me in your downward facing dog. And we're going to walk it out, and we're going to breathe all that delicious love into our bodies and appreciation for everything we just did. And if you need a reset, guys, this is the time. Each in-breath in through the nose, each out-breath heavy through the mouth. And then when you're ready, we're going to meet back in our child's pose, bringing our knees wide to the earth, our toes together, and sinking our hips back and down. Just allowing our entire body to surrender here. So explore on the out breath. Is there some place that maybe you're holding tension and stress? Can you show yourself love by letting it go on that out breath? Breathing in the love and awareness. And breathing out to completely release. And our next in-breath, we're gently going to lift just enough to slide the left arm under the right, palm towards the ceiling, and our ear collapses down into our mat, or not. Whatever your body needs, whatever it wants right now. And gently switch sides and drop all the way back in. Where can you let go? Feel the power and love through each exhale. Refilling our cups with each breath. And then just gently meet me back at the middle. And we're going to stay here for a second. So breathing in to fill. And this time as we breathe out, we're going to push and slide through the fingers as we sink the hips further back. So breathing in, feel that lift, feel that energy. And on the out breath, take the stretch just a little further. And can we get just a little farther? Breathing in life, prana, breathing out, letting go of negativity, self-doubt, and then meeting me in your downward facing dog. Beautiful, guys. So we're just going to take a couple of breaths here. If you want to pedal, you can pedal. If you want to just focus on the heels to the earth, that's good too. But when you're ready, we're going to once again come towards the front of the mat. So right foot steps over the left foot steps over the right. Beautiful. And we're pressing into the palms, and we're coming back to our forward fold, allowing the entire chest to completely release down. So it's almost like we're draping our chest over our thighs. And you can stay here in the fold. We can find ragdoll. We can find gorilla. But I want you to take this further now that we're nice and warm and awake, right? So breathe in, lift the sit bones and push into the feet. Breathe out, collapse the chest. Even if it's by 1/8 of an inch, closer to the thighs. Feel the difference that makes through your entire posterior chain. One more breath here. And no matter what option you're in, we're going to bring the fingertips back to the ground. And we're going to take our next breath and find Ardha Uttanasana, or our halfway lift. So our hands come to our shins or to our thighs, but we're going to lift the sit bones as we pull the crown of our head forward. So creating some beautiful length and strength here in our spine. So our back is so flat that if I were to put a water bottle on it, it would not spill. One more breath. And we're going to collapse all the way back down, and we're going to start to move. So our next in-breath is going to lift us to extended mountain, driving the hips forward. Big beach ball reaches back, and then as we breathe out, we're going to swan dive forward into our fold. We're going to step the right leg back into our lunge, and then we're going to step the left leg back, finding our chaturanga, coming all the way down, lifting on the in-breath, down dog on our out breath. And we're going to hold here and walk it out, bringing our heels closer to the earth, warming our legs. And now spread your fingers just a little wider. And our next breath, we are going to take our right leg and we are going to lift it to three-legged dog. So our toes point to the ceiling and our palms press even deeper into the earth. Each in-breath lifts the toes higher. Each out-breath brings that bottom heel closer to the floor. One more breath. And we're going to use the next inhale to bring our right knee to our nose, rolling through our spine, stacking our wrists under our shoulders, and then out breath to push back out into three-legged dog. And just creating even more strength, even more stability here. Beautiful. And our next breath, we're going to step forward, guys, and we're going to step our right foot between the hands. The left foot is going to anchor to the earth at a 45-degree angle, and then we are going to lift into warrior one. Beautiful. So stay exactly as you are. I'm going to show you from this side. In breath, we're going to squeeze the thighs and lift through the fingertips. Out breath, we're going to press both feet deeper into the ground. Fill through each inhale. Connect deeper through each exhale. And we're gonna open warrior two. So windmill the arms, our heels are parallel, and we're just gonna open our chest to the front of the room. Relaxing our shoulders, but still reaching through all 10 fingertips. So today we're gonna dance with our warrior. From warrior two, we're gonna use our next breath, keeping our legs where they are. We're gonna reach back for our reverse or peaceful warrior, pressing into both feet, feeling the warmth through the thighs and belly as we squeeze, and now reaching through these top fingertips. Can you feel the legs? Yeah. And we're gonna let this go. The legs stay exactly where they are. And this time we're gonna reach forward for extended side angle. Trying to reach as far as we can through these front fingers. And then we can bring this front arm to the thigh and just chill, reaching overhead, or we can go further by bringing this hand all the way to the ankle and then using each in-breath to revolve through this top shoulder and each out-breath to reach out and lengthen a little bit deeper. One more breath. And our next breath is going to release our heel, bringing our fingers to the ground. So the back heel lifts, the chest rotates to the floor. We're back in our lunge position. If this is enough, guys, you can hang here. If you need a little bit of a reset, you can stay here. But if you want an additional stability and strength challenge, come with me, squeeze your thighs together, and we're going to lift from the floor into our high crescent lunge. From here, the back foot is slowly gonna step in and we're gonna hinge from the hips. So we're pushing the hips back and we're gonna find our Virabhadrasana 3 or warrior 3 today. You can hang here and stay on the ground the whole time, just focusing on space and reaching out through the fingers, or we can add that beautiful balance challenge by lifting the back leg off, squaring our hips, and steadying our gaze. You can keep the arms out front. We can find airplane arms coming out wide, or we can simply breathe our palms to heart center. But using each in-breath to fill through our lungs and each out-breath to dive a little deeper. One more breath here. And the fingertips are going to find their way to the earth, and that lifted leg is going to float down to the floor. And then we are going to flatten the palms, and we are going to find our chaturanga, or you can just meet me in downward facing dog. And it's so delicious. So just feeling that pedal, feeling the reset, and giving your body tons of love here. Because it's not about perfection, it's about progression. Every time we come to class, we get stronger, we get healthier. And now let's reset, shall we? So from here, we're going to take the left foot, step it over the right foot over the left, and once again, meeting me in your forward fold, guys. And you know the options, so maybe you're here, maybe we're here, Or maybe we want a deeper stretch for the back of our legs and we find our gorilla. Settling back in. So feel the in-breath. Enter through our nostrils. Use the out-breath to collapse down deeper. And then gently find your way back, bringing the fingertips to the earth. And our next breath is going to bring us back to Ardha Uttanasana, or halfway lift. So pull the head forward, lift the sit bones high, eyes to the earth. So you know it, in breath, lift the sit bones. Out breath, push into the feet and pull the crown of the head forward a little bit more. And can you feel the strength that makes? Not only through the tummy, but also all the way up into your hamstrings and glutes. One more breath, and we're gonna collapse all the way into our fold. And our next breath is gonna lift us to extended mountain, bringing that beach ball with us, reaching back as the hips drive forward, and the out breath is gonna dive us forward into our fold. Our left leg, we're gonna breathe it back, planting the palms, or stay up on spidey fingers. And then the next time, our next breath is going to step the front leg back, and we're gonna find our chaturanga. And you can just do it on your knees. You can keep the thighs on the ground, whatever is right today. And then meet me in that down dog. Awesome, team. Heels to the earth. And our next breath is going to take that left leg and lift it high to the sky for our three-legged dog. So pressing deeper into the palms, sinking the hips up and back, and then just pushing out of these lifted toes. And we just feel that beautiful warmth, that delicious strength and energy running through our entire body. And our next breath is going to bring the left knee and bring it all the way into our nose as we roll forward through our spine and press into the earth. And then the out breath is going to push us out into our three-legged dog, just trying to pull the armpits closer to the ground as we create a little more length through our entire body. One more breath here. And our next breath is going to step our left leg through, planting the left foot onto the ground between the hands. The back foot is going to anchor to the earth at a 45-degree angle, and we're going to lift, finding warrior one, Virabhadrasana one on our other side. Beautiful, guys. Stay as you are. Keep breathing, and I'm just going to turn. So in breath, fills and lifts. Out breath, sinks us deeper. One more breath here. And then we're going to open, warrior two. So if you need to readjust the feet, that's totally fine. But the heel should make a straight line. Feeling each breath, fill our body with love, and release. Two more breaths here. And we're going to keep the legs where they are. Feel the strength, press into the earth, and let's start to dance. So floating this front arm back, reaching through these top fingertips for the back of the room. And I like to talk about space. So what we're doing is we're pushing this back rib towards the hip, removing space from this side body as we open space through this side body. Two more breaths. And we're gonna windmill the hands, and now we're gonna extend and reach forward, pressing our feet deeper into the ground. And we can either chill, forearm to our thigh for extended side angle, or we can go for more. Breathing in to revolve, breathing out to lengthen and reach. And it feels so good, right? Feel this love for yourself. Feel the heart open and fill. One more breath here. And we're gently going to bring the hands to the earth, and we're going to rotate and lift the back heel, chest to the ground. So once again, we can hang here, guys. We can drop back here, or come with me, and we're going to rise to high crescent lunge, squeezing our thighs together, and then we're going to gently step the back leg in. And we're going to hinge from our hips, steadying our gaze to the earth. And if it's right for you, we are going to take flight. So lifting off. And then the hands can come forward. They can come wide, they can stay here. But breathing in to fill and open, and breathing out to just go further, pulling the crown of the head, creating more length and strength. One more breath. And the fingertips come to the earth, and the back leg drops, and the front foot is going to step us back into plank, and we're going to find chaturanga, or just meet me at downward facing dog. And we're going to walk it out, yes. So congratulate yourself on everything you just did. And when it feels good, we're going to come all the way down into child's pose. So softly bringing the knees to the earth, bringing them wide, and settle back in. Breathing in lots of love. Breathing out any criticism, any judgment, and completely letting go. And our next breath, we are going to find our way back to tabletop. Take your time, guys. Very kind, very slow. And if it feels right, we can go in a dancing lion. If you want to go in a cat-cow, that's fine. This is just a nice little reset for our body, for our shoulders, for our breathing. Whatever you need, whatever you want. And then meet me back in the middle. And we're just going to tuck the toes and we're going to lift up. And now from here, we're going to step 1 foot forward and then we're going to pivot so that the heels are parallel and the wrists are under our shoulders, setting up for our wide forward fold. So if inversions are in your practice, now is the time. So feel free to explore those inversions. And if not, stay with me. And we're just gonna come into our fold, so lifting the sit bones, but we're gonna add a beautiful twist, taking this right hand and gently peeling it away from the earth, opening to the sky, stacking our shoulders here, and just seeing how far we can reach with our top fingertips. Our eyes can stay down or up, but we're gonna take 2 breaths here, breathing in to fill and breathing out to pull the crown of the head forward as we lift our sit bones a little higher. 1 more breath. And we're gonna release and we're just gonna switch sides. So planting the right palm under our right shoulder and then breathing our left arm up. And this time I want you to think about pressing into this bottom hand as you reach a little higher through these top fingers. And let's stay here for 3 more breaths. Even if it's just a micro lift, we're going just a little further with every out breath. Beautiful. And we're gonna come back to the earth and we're gonna do it again on the right. So breathing and lifting and just feeling that length and taking our breath and going just a little further. Breathing in lots of love. Breathing out lots of love. 1 more breath. And we're gonna bring it down and we're gonna switch arms. And yours might not look anything like mine. So maybe you're only here, guys. Maybe you're down here. That's fine. We all have different levels of mobility and flexibility. So just tune into what's right today. And we're gonna come back to the earth. So if you took the inversion option, meet me back in your wide forward fold now. And we're just going to breathe in, pushing into the palms. And now as we breathe out, we're actually gonna soften down through our chest, through our shoulders. So the in-breath fills our lungs, and the out-breath lifts the sit bones, but collapses through our upper body. And let's take 2 more beautiful breaths, just like this. And in your own time, we are going to come back to the top, and we are going to take one leg, and we are gently going to fold it under the body, and we are going to come all the way down to the earth, and we are going to find Dandasana or staff pose. So bringing our sit bones to the floor, pulling our flesh away from the body, and then just settling back in, allowing our in-breath to fill through our lungs. And then as we breathe out, pressing both legs deeper into our mat, lifting through our heart, filling through our ribs, and completely letting go. One more beautiful breath. And just feel that warmth, feel that reset. And then our next breath, we're gonna bring the arms straight forward for thriller arms. And we're gonna have the fingers just kind of facing down towards the ground. And we're just relaxing through our wrists here. So just giving our wrists a nice little stretch. And then if it feels good, we're gonna make some soft circles. Oh, and that should feel really, really nice after all those down dogs, all those tabletops. And then we're gonna repeat in the opposite direction. Beautiful. And then we're gonna take those fingers and we're gonna bring them up to the sky like we're pushing out of our palms. Stop in the name of love. Beautiful. But we're still letting those shoulders relax as we push our legs deep into the floor. One more breath. And we're gonna let it go. And we're gonna scoot forward and we're slowly gonna roll vertebrae by vertebrae down towards the earth, allowing our back to melt down into the floor, and then using our next in-breath to pull our knees into our chest and just hugging and loving our body. And we can stay still, or we can start to make these beautiful warm circles. Reconnecting with our Ujjayi breath here. Breathing in through our nostrils. Feeling that out breath, leaving heavy. Almost like a whisper. And if you're making circles, we're just going to do them in the other direction. Just counterbalancing this. Really nice. Beautiful. And we're gently going to find our way back to the center. And we're going to allow the right leg to extend out long. And then we're going to take our left knee across the midline by bringing the right hand outside of our thigh and just kind of folding it over. From here, we're going to anchor down our shoulders. So only bringing this knee as far as our shoulders can stay connected to the earth, and the head is going to fall in the opposite direction that the knee went. And it feels really, really good, right? And we're just going to stay here for a couple of breaths. Beautiful, guys. So if you want more, from here, we can extend this top leg out. We can also grab onto the top leg. We can reach for the thigh, we can reach for the shin, or we can reach for the outside of our foot, pushing out of our heel to make this stretch a little more active for the back of our leg. But still maintaining that deep connection of our shoulders to the earth, regardless of what option we choose. One more breath. And we're gonna release, and we're gonna come back to the center, and we're just gonna reset here. So just making some nice circles, hugging the body, massaging our back. settling our breath. And then we're going to find our twist on our other side. So now we're going to bring the opposite leg across the body. So folding and stacking our hips, and then opening this arm, allowing our shoulders to once again press deeply into the floor, and our eyes to follow our fingertips to the other side of the room. Breathing in lots of love for ourselves, and breathing out anything that doesn't serve us or bring us happiness. And if we want to go further, extending this top leg out and finding the option that feels right. And what's right on one side might be totally different on the other, because the two sides of our body, they're like sisters, not twins. They have different experiences, so we have to treat them differently. So in adjusting for what feels right here. One more big breath. And we're gently going to come back to the middle, just stacking our knees over our hips, and we're going to find happy baby. So our hands either inside or outside of our feet, and our elbows are gently just coming inside of our knees. And we can keep our baby nice and still, or we can rock our baby from one side to the next. And if we want to play with our baby, we can kick out one leg and then pull it in, and then the other. And there is no right and there is no wrong way to do this. Breathing in through our nose, breathing out of our mouth. And then meet me back in the center, allowing our hands to release our feet and our feet to float together, allowing our knees to fall open like pages of a book, and then bringing our palms to our opposite elbows and collapsing our arms over our head, finding our butterfly or our cobbler's pose, reconnecting through our breath, and pressing our back flat into the earth, or not. And when it feels good, finding your way to our Shavasana or our corpse pose, extending our legs out, letting go of any control we have over our arms, and just softening our eyelids and closing our eyes, allowing our in-breath to continue to enter gently through our nostrils, and filling through our out-breath, completely letting go. So the in-breath opens and lifts, and feel the out-breath completely release. Bringing all of our attention and focus back into ourselves in this moment. And just bringing some soft, loving awareness into our bodies. Feeling the weight of your body supported by the ground. feeling your body connected to the earth, rooted and grounded, and feeling the love you have for yourself in this moment. As you continue to breathe, imagine a warm golden light surrounding you. This light represents love and acceptance, and it radiates from within your heart. Feel this light expanding with each in-breath, enveloping your entire body in a blanket of happiness and love. Now visualize yourself standing in front of a mirror, looking at your reflection with kind and loving eyes. Gaze at yourself, acknowledging all of the unique qualities that make you who you are. Seeing the beauty in your imperfections, for they are what make you perfectly human. As you continue to look at yourself in the mirror, repeat the following affirmations, either silently or aloud. I am worthy of love and compassion. I am enough just as I am. I love and accept myself completely. Not only am I enough, I am actually overqualified. Feel the truth in these affirmations resonating within you. Embrace the feeling of self-love and self-acceptance as you continue to bask in this warm golden light that surrounds you. Now bring to mind a memory or a moment when you felt completely loved or cherished in your life. Feel the warmth and joy of this moment filling your heart, and allow this feeling of love to grow and expand within you. Breathing in lots of love. Breathing out lots of love. Imagine sending this love to every part of your body, starting from the top of your head and then traveling all the way down into your toes. Feel the love washing away any self-doubt, any criticism, leaving only love and acceptance in its place. Breathing in love for yourself and completely letting go of any judgment, any negativity. As you continue to breathe deeply, Imagine this warm, loving light expanding beyond your body, radiating out into the world. Know that the love for yourself can be shared with others, creating a ripple effect of love and kindness. Take a moment to bask in this feeling of self-love and connectedness. Feel the peace and contentment that comes from fully accepting and loving yourself. And finally, we are going to bring some slow movement back into our bodies. Very loving, very kind. So just beginning to wiggle our fingers and our toes. Very soft. And then making small, slow circles with our wrists and our ankles. And then gently repeating in the opposite direction. And then when it feels right, hugging our knees, keeping our eyes closed, and just making our way back to our easy seated position or Sukhasana. And we are going to take one final big breath together. So continuing to keep our eyelids shut, taking a deep breath in, lifting our arms, and bringing our palms together at the top. And as we breathe out, gently lowering our hands to the center of our heart. Carry this feeling of self-love and awareness with you throughout the rest of your week, knowing that you are deserving of love and compassion exactly as you are. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for class today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that I'll see you next time. Definitely give yourself a pat on the back for making it through the entire class. A big part of self-love is just having compassion and grace for ourselves and really allowing ourselves to be present and patient with our yoga journey. So thank you so much once again for being here, and I hope you have a fantastic and loving day.
Breathe in, breathe out. I'm in the zone, I'm drawn in all out. And I just want you to show